Don't replace expensive parts without testing them first, and don't rush to an auto repair shop just yet. In today's video, we'll diagnose your cooling fan step by step by checking 8 different components. One of them is the real reason your cooling fan isn't turning on. Best of all, you can perform most of these checks yourself, right at home, without visiting a repair shop or mechanic. So let's get started. 1. Checking the cooling fan itself. The first component we're going to inspect is the cooling fan itself. Yes, cooling fans can fail over time due to normal wear or because the electric motor inside the fan has become defective. To test the fan, you can use one of the following 3 methods. Simply choose the one that's easiest for you. Method 1. Turn on the air conditioner. Turn on the air conditioner. On most vehicles, this will cause the cooling fan to start running automatically, either at low speed or high speed, depending on the vehicle's design. If the cooling fan runs when the AC is turned on, you've confirmed that the fan motor is working properly. Method 2. Disconnect the coolant temperature sensor. On many vehicles, disconnecting the coolant temperature sensor connector will cause the engine control module to activate the cooling fan as a fail-safe strategy. However, keep in mind that this behavior does not apply to every vehicle, since cooling fan control varies by manufacturer and vehicle design. If your vehicle uses this strategy, the cooling fan will run continuously at high speed, even if the engine is completely cold. This happens because the engine control module can no longer determine the actual coolant temperature, so it turns the fan on to help protect the engine. If the cooling fan starts running after disconnecting the sensor, you've confirmed that the fan motor and its power circuit are capable of operating correctly. Method 3. Test the fan directly. You can also disconnect the cooling fan connector and apply 12 volts directly to the fan from a separate 12-volt power source. If the fan starts spinning, the fan motor is working properly. If it doesn't run, the fan motor is defective. However, perform this test carefully. To reduce the risk of electrical damage, it's recommended to use a separate power source whenever possible rather than the vehicle's battery. This test should only be performed by someone who has sufficient electrical experience. Personally, I recommend using one of the first 2 methods. They're much safer and more than sufficient for diagnosing the cooling fan in most situations. 2. Checking the cooling fan wiring and connector. The next thing to inspect is the cooling fan wiring and connector. Carefully examine the wiring for any broken wires, damaged insulation, or signs of chafing where the wiring may have rubbed against another component or the vehicle's body. Any of these problems can interrupt power to the cooling fan and prevent it from operating. Next, inspect the fan connector itself. Look for corrosion, burn marks, melted plastic, or signs of overheating inside the connector. Also, check that the terminals are tight and properly seated. Loose or spread terminals can create a poor electrical connection and keep the fan from running. If you find any of these issues, they could easily be the reason why the cooling fan isn't working. Once you've finished inspecting the fan, its wiring, and its connector, it's time to move on to the next step. Checking the wiring harness. The inspection doesn't stop at the fan wiring alone. You also need to inspect the wiring harness that runs from the fuse box to the cooling fan connector. Follow the harness as far as you can and look for damaged wires, worn insulation, or any section that's been pinched, cut, or rubbing against the vehicle's body. Inspect every connector along the harness and make sure it's fully seated. Also, look for corrosion, moisture, burn marks, or damaged terminals inside the connectors. If everything looks good, we can move on to the next diagnostic step. Now let's move to the fuse box. Using the fuse diagram printed on the fuse box cover, locate the fuse that protects the cooling fan circuit. Start with a visual inspection. If the fuse element is broken, melted, or burned, the fuse is defective and should be replaced. However, a visual inspection alone isn't always enough. To be completely sure, test the fuse with a multimeter set to continuity mode. If the fuse tests good, don't stop there. Inspect the fuse socket as well. Look for dirt, corrosion, burn marks, loose terminals, or signs of overheating. If everything checks out, we can continue to the next step. Just as we inspected the fuse, we also need to inspect the cooling fan relay. There are two simple ways to do this. Method 1. Use a multimeter to test the relay's switched contacts. To perform this test, you'll also need to apply 12 volts to the relay coil so the relay can switch normally. This is a more advanced procedure and requires some electrical experience. If you don't have a multimeter or you're not comfortable performing this test, there's a much quicker and easier option. Method 2. Swap the relay with another relay that has the exact same part number or identical specifications, including the same amperage rating and terminal layout. Choose a relay from a non-critical circuit, such as the high beam headlights, the windshield wipers, or another accessory that isn't essential for engine operation. If the cooling fan starts working after swapping the relay, you've found the problem. The original relay is defective. Before moving on, don't forget to inspect the relay socket. Check for corrosion, dirt, burn marks, loose terminals, or signs of overheating. If everything looks normal, it's time for the next diagnostic step. Most vehicles are equipped with one or more high amperage fuses. When I say high amperage, I'm referring to the amount of current the fuse can handle, not its physical size. These main fuses are usually located in a fuse box mounted directly above or next to the battery. They protect high-current electrical systems, such as the starter motor, the ABS system, the electric power steering, the cooling fans, and other major circuits. Locate the main fuse that supplies power to the cooling fan circuit and inspect it carefully. In many cases, a blown main fuse can be identified with a simple visual inspection. If the fuse is burned or damaged, replace it only with another fuse that has the exact same amperage rating. Although many technicians overlook these fuses, they are extremely important and can easily be the reason why the cooling fan isn't working. If the main fuse is in good condition, move on to the next step. Checking the coolant temperature sensor. At this point, it's possible that every electrical component in the cooling fan circuit is working properly, yet the fan still refuses to operate. In that case, the problem could be the coolant temperature sensor. This sensor continuously reports the engine coolant temperature to the engine control module. If the sensor fails or sends incorrect temperature data, the control module may never receive the information it needs to activate the cooling fan. Depending on the vehicle, the fan may not turn on at all, or it may operate at the wrong time or behave unpredictably. The best way to test the sensor is by using a scan tool. Monitor the coolant temperature while the engine warms up and verify that the readings increase smoothly and realistically. If the readings suddenly jump, freeze, or don't match the actual engine temperature, the sensor or its circuit should be inspected more closely. If the sensor is confirmed to be faulty, replace it immediately. I've already explained the symptoms of a failing coolant temperature sensor in detail in another video. You'll find the link in the description below. 8. Checking the cooling fan control module. Modern vehicles use several electronic control modules, and depending on the vehicle, the cooling fan may be controlled by a dedicated cooling fan control module or directly by the engine control module. If every previous test has passed successfully, it's time to consider the possibility of a control module fault. Although this isn't the most common cause, it does happen. On vehicles equipped with a separate cooling fan control module, the failure is often caused by the power transistor that drives the cooling fan. In many cases, that transistor can be replaced without replacing the entire control module. However, diagnosing a control module fault usually requires advanced testing, so this step should only be considered after every other possibility has been ruled out. Let's summarize everything. If the cooling fan works when the air conditioner is turned on but doesn't respond to engine temperature, the problem is most likely related to the coolant temperature sensor or its circuit. If the cooling fan starts running after disconnecting the coolant temperature connector, you've confirmed that the fan motor and its power circuit are capable of operating. The remaining problem is most likely related to the coolant temperature sensor or its wiring. If the cooling fan doesn't run under any condition, the most likely causes are a blown fuse, a faulty relay, damaged wiring, or a defective cooling fan motor. If every electrical component in the cooling fan circuit checks out, the problem may be inside the cooling fan control module or the engine control module, depending on the vehicle's design. We've reached the end of today's video. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching AutoFix Zone. I'll see you in the next one.